All right, good morning, everybody. We are live on YouTube and hopefully live on Zoom. Are we live on Zoom? Okay. If yes, it will be the first time that we are live on Zoom. What is Zoom? People are asking, even in this room. The older guys from the other generation. Not that I knew what it was until a couple of hours ago. Zoom is a teleconferencing medium. It's basically everybody who has a video, they can take a video. What? YouTube sound is on. Are we delayed on the sound? Okay, we're fine. So basically, if you have a camera at home and I have a camera, so we can both see each other. Now, if there's 100 people that have cameras, so they could all, you see everybody on the screen, little teeny screens of all the people participating. They could actually ask questions in, and that will be a little crazy, so we're going to mute them off for now. Maybe occasionally during this year we'll turn it back on. But you feel there's a sense of, now there are actual real people that are watching, and you see, it's not just a number on YouTube, 1,000 views. Now there's actually, what?
One question per person.
Yeah, Alavai. So we have up to 500 people. We're allowed to go up to 500. Halavai, we should get 100. And maybe Adarabah, maybe this thing we're going through, this crazy corona, Adarabah, it should bring, we know that everything's for the best. So maybe this will bring a greater Harbatzas Torah. There'll be more people learning Torah through Zoom. Who knows? Because I think it's a better medium than YouTube. When people could see each other, it's all of a sudden it becomes more lively. It becomes as if you're there. Yeah. It's not streaming. It's not just one person talking to everybody. Everybody's part of it. Real quickly with the emails. This one is from Menachem Braun. Does anybody here know a guy by the name of Menachem Braun? Yeshikoyach. Nobody's raising their hand. Okay. Yeshikoyach. I live in Baltimore.
Yes, my cousin, my first cousin.
Really? And the largest shul is closed up today. Your shir was just what I needed. I'm Mendy Auerbach's first cousin. Regards. Oh, really? Oh, Mendy Menachem. Dear Rebelli, I got a crazy amount of emails. I can't go through all of them. I got one this morning that was very touching, but I'll just go in order, I guess. Dear Rebelli, I'm a student of yours, listening and learning from you since you started Brachas Daf Beis. I admire your diverse accomplishments. Many cited in the recent Mishpacha magazine articles, such as building prime cars from ground up, holding an open lion's mouth, jumping out of planes, and of course your worldwide Daf Yomi shir and 8-minute review. But after watching your shir yesterday in Shabbos Daf Tes, I have to add another praise to you. You adhere to the directives of the Health Administration to only have 10 people at a gathering. See, different people see it different ways. That means that your in-house Daf Yomi club has been currently reduced to a minion. As a result, there's less interaction and Hamish brotherhood atmosphere. Still, you gave the shir with the special humor and chain as if the room were full. The leadership you demonstrated by following essential life-saving directives is a shir in and of itself. Everyone can read the Vos is Nice news site about Dr. Gary Slutkin, a world expert in epidemic control, who writes that social gatherings need to be suspended. Kol kavod to your honoring this live and being the man of the hour. May Hashem watch over all of us, and may your only infection be v'dabekenu b'yetzer ha'toiv v'masim toivim, from a great fan of yours. I'm not going to go. This is a very long one. And then here's this one. Yesterday I brought this Chashva guy's email. He gave me musar on that we had more than 10 people. Good morning, Rabbi Stefansky. Thank you for taking me seriously. I do want to apologize. First, I did not know that the cameraman was in a gallery upstairs. And that is a different room, so it doesn't count towards 10. Second, I did not realize that people have forced their way in. Thank you for pointing out to me. Okay, the door is locked today. And Memela, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Here. This is the whole shir, and here's the gallery up there. This is the YouTube. Okay, fine. Today's shir is being sponsored L'Zeicher Nishmas Dvoira Bas Leib. Today we have a new feature. Since we have our new $2,000 camera, we could actually superimpose the name on the camera, and you're going to see it on the screen. So no longer do we have to post it behind me over there. It's going to be a little bit more annoying. Right on your screen on the bottom the entire time. It's there. It's on the screen already. Wow. One final note. I'm not sure how he threatened you. If anything, switching to a lesser share is a threat to me, not you. It's not true. Every single person that I have a schus in their learning, it's a schus for me. Why would I want to lose one person? Not true. It's Torah currency. Not true. So I'm chulking you on 3 things, Rabbi. All right, I'm happy to keep learning along with you and hope that together we can weather this storm and get through it together with Torah we learn. Thank you again. All right, let's jump into the sugya. All these, wow, these beautiful amounts. We're going to have to leave it for tomorrow. A nice amount. A lot of people have a lot of time on their hands sending in emails. Send me some pictures. I want to see what it looks like learning all cooped up at home. We're holding on Daf Yud Aleph Amud Aleph. V'omar Rava Bar Machasio. Yesterday we had 4 Rava Bar Machasios. Today we're going to have another 5. We're on a roll. We mentioned his name. Now, I think I mentioned this. I was once very bored, and I went through the entire Shas. I have to find it. I think there are 42 Ravas. Now, there's one Rava and Abaya, and then it seems like people named their kids after, and then we had the G'daylim, 42 Ravas that are mentioned in Shas. One of them is Rava Bar Machasio, different than the Rava, because yesterday we had Rava and Rava Bar Machasio. I made a list. I don't remember. I have the list. I just saw it like a few weeks ago. I think it was 42, maybe 52. Omer Rav Chama Bar Guria Omer Rav. Kol Ir Shigagu Yisrael Gvoimin in Beis HaKnesses. Beis HaKnesses L'Soif Chareva. When the buildings in the city are taller than those of the shul, at the end the city will be destroyed. Shenemar L'Roimim es Beis Elokeinu Ulahamid es Chorvois of Mendy just told me, and I heard this from him yesterday actually also. He was in Ukraine, and over there, the Marsha's shul, someone who lived 450 years ago, the Heilige Marsha who wrote the Marsha, his shul is still there. And it's the tallest building in the entire Ukraine, they say, or in the entire city. But he's makbid on all the halachas of a shul. He didn't make kiddushim in there, and they probably didn't speak in there. Who knows? Zok the Gemara. Where do you see this? Because it says L'roimim is Beis Elokeinu Ulahamid is Chorvoisav, and Rashi says it goes by the end of the pasuk. Velosis lanu goder b'Yehuda b'Yerushalayim. Wow! This is something to see. Let me show this even on Zoom. There are 2 people. It's not working. So there are 2 people outside. They are outside sitting. It's beautiful. Zoom is not working. Okay. Bezer Hashem will get it up and running. V'hanamili, that's the problem with that choshev camera over there. We can't turn around to the crowd, but we have these cameras that should be able to see them. So Rashi says, if you do everything right, you'll have a goder, you'll have that protection. If you don't do it, that's what the Ran says. If you don't do what you need to do, then it'll be a churban Rahman al-Islam. V'hanamili b'botim. That's if you have houses that are taller than shul. If it's the forts and the towers that don't serve as a place to live, the roofs don't serve, or they themselves, they're for beauty, whatever the reason is, less lamba. The Miri points out that if you build a building to live in, it's not to be better than the shul. That's also not a problem. He's not brought down la halacha. Omar Avashi. I'm the Rosh Hashiva here in Masa Mechasio, and I made sure that the shul wasn't destroyed. What are you talking about? It was destroyed. It says the Gemara, I made sure that the shul wouldn't be destroyed because of this avera of building higher buildings than the actual shul. You see, lahavdil, I don't want to mention, but there's a certain religion that no matter where they are, their thing is always the tallest. V'omar Rava bar Mechasio, Omer Rav Chama bar Guria, Omer Rav. So again, we're going with another Rava bar Mechasio. The what? Tachas Yishmol v'loi tachas nochri. You'd rather be a servant to Yishmaeli Then a Nochri, to an Edoim. They're not as mean, those days at least. In other words, somebody from Edoim. Tachas Nochri v'loi tachas Chabar. It's better to serve a Nochri than a person from Chabar. Rashi says it's from Paras, Iranian. Tachas Chabar v'loi tachas Talmud Chacham. You hear this? It's very dangerous to serve a Talmud Chacham because he's the... He's laughing. He said, Yeshua, pay attention. The guys outside are laughing. Yeah, the mamash like Hillel HaZaken. Hillel! That's Hillel outside. He's by the door. Gary, we need a picture. I'm not joking. Come over here, take a picture. What? Yeah. It's not a joke. One day we're going to look back at these pictures. But we didn't even take a picture of the olam of a 7-person shir yesterday. It's more dangerous to serve a Talmud Chacham. I just remembered a guy, I read a beautiful thing about Rabbi Elyashiv. To me it was beautiful, to a lot of people it will be hard to understand. He said he served Rabbi Elyashiv for 2 years. He was a hoizbacher in Rabbi Elyashiv's house. 2 years. Rabbi Elyashiv never asked him what his name was. Never what his name and what yeshiva he goes to. Because he's so into his learning, he's like, thank you. He thanked him, never spoke to him about anything. Crazy. But anyways, it's dangerous to be a Talmud Chacham's shamish. Tachas Talmud Chacham v'lei tachas yosem v'almana. And by the way, that bacher wasn't insulted. He loved him. He was saying it as a shvach, not as an insult, but other people might take it the wrong way. Tachas Talmud Chacham v'lei tachas yosem v'almana. The worst person, it's a mitzvah to deal with the Yosef Almana, but the Gemara's point is you have to be very careful because if they cry, you cause them to cry, then their cry, their tears are close to Hashem, and as the pasuk says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will take care of the Yosef Almana, so you have to be careful. Another saying from Rabbi B'Mechasya, Rav Bar Guya, or Rav Chama Bar Guya, Rav, the worst disease a person can have, a long disease, is the disease of the intestines. I don't want to talk about it again, but today, like pancreatic cancer, v'chulu, we can understand what that means. It's a terrible disease. I don't have a SIM card in here, but okay. In there, in that phone, in the Zoom phone, because his SIM card didn't come out. We weren't able to extract it. Called ke'ev v'loi ke'ev leiv, a prolonged pain, says Rashi, like a toothache, which is pretty painful. But the worst is the heartache. I won't call it an ache because that's the next one. The pain of the heart. Kol mechush, the ache, v'lo mechush rosh. If you have a quick kind of pain, the worst one is a headache. Kol ra, this does not apply Rabbi Yisai in our generation. Kol ra, what's bad? V'lo isha ra. Baruch Hashem, we don't have that. It's not an issue to have. There's no bad woman in our generation. But in the time of the Gemara, the worst thing a person could go through, bad, is a bad wife. We have. I'm just kidding. Because I don't want to hear those emails from women. Say, what are you talking about? No, there's such a thing. But the point is, a bad woman could make a man go crazy. Bad midos? Yeah, what does bad mean? Obviously, that's what we... Yeah. It's like that story, this guy, the famous mice, the guy went to the Rebbe, he said, I need to do tshuva, I did a tremendous avera. So the Rebbe said, you have to marry the worst woman in town, the biggest raw, this woman. So he went around and he looked everywhere and they all said, Sprinzel, she's the worst. So he got married, everything was great, and she's an unbelievable wife. So after a few weeks, he goes over and says, listen, I have a problem. I mean, I married you because I thought that, but your mom is so nice, what's going on? She said, what are you, crazy? You think that because of me, you're going to have a kapara? I'll never let that happen. Now that's good midos. That's a woman raw. They just got the joke outside. Listen to this. I don't understand it 100%. If all the oceans were ink, and all the reeds in the world were pens, and the sky would be the parchment, and all the people will be soifrim. A king has so much on his mind, he's taking care of so many things, and all the taxes and all the... You can't imagine what he has going on, and you won't be able to write it all down. And where do we see it in the Pasuk? The heaven is all the way up and the land goes all the way down. But the heart of the king, you can never investigate it. What do we learn from this? Different Rishonim say different things. One says you should always daven for the government that should do well because it's a difficult job. Don't try to criticize them. They have different things going on. Or the pshat is you shouldn't deal with them. Don't do any parnas with them. They're dangerous. Different pshat. Another Rav Bar Mechasi. Person has a very bad dream and he wants to make a fast. He fasts. The fast is beautiful. It'll destroy the bad dream like fire destroys linen. Says Rav Chisda, you should do the fast immediately, that day. Even though it's also to fast on Shabbos, for this, it's a sakana. He had a very bad dream. You have to look in halacha what kind of dreams we're talking about. But bad dreams, you fast even on Shabbos. So what do you do if you fast on Shabbos? Like we learned in Brachas. Then you have to fast again. You have to fast for the fast. The fact that you fast on Shabbos, that itself requires a fast. Reb Shua Ravidi Ikla Bei Rav Ashi, a story. Reb Shua went to Rav Ashi's house. Avdilei Igla Tilta. The Gemara constantly uses this language as the best kind of meat. The third calf, the third veal. Either means it's a third of its life, the third one, the first two that the cow gives birth to are not that strong. Amrulei, Litay Marmini. Oh, so we have Avi Kamiansky. The Zoom is up for at least our star guest, Avi Kamiansky. So they said, listen, you got to eat something. We need other people on Zoom. All right. So he says, I can't eat anything. Could you hear me, Avi, on Zoom? Oh, he just went off. Yes, he could hear us. So Zoom is working for one person. It starts off slow. Be'ezer Hashem, you'll see. We'll have over 100 people. Hila Kamiansky's on. Shalom Aleichem. Okay, great. But you got to get your head out of the YouTube camera. Thanks for that one person that stepped out so we could have 10 people in the room. Okay, so I can't eat this veal because I'm in a tinus. I could borrow a tinus. If I have to do a tinus today, everybody discusses what kind of tinus, a big right here. Is it a tinus that I swore I'm going to fast today? Or maybe it's a lesser tinus. I have to fast a day, and the day came, a day, I said maybe it's about to start. I said, no, you know what, let me push it off tomorrow. I could be mashlim my tinus. This is different. This is a tinus for a dream, and you don't push it off. It's not good to push it off, because if I fast, I'll destroy it like fire destroys a piece of paper, a piece of linen. It'll be immediate. But Rav Chisda says on that, don't push it off, it has to be that day. Now, on Shabbos itself, by the way, once we're mentioning Shabbos, you should just know, I don't know what happened over here. There's some white thing going on here. We'll get it straight. On Shabbos itself, one is not allowed to fast past the 6th hour of Shabbos, past Chatzos. So we need to be careful. Some people are so careful that at middle shul, they go out and they make a Kiddush club. All the mitzvah, of course. But that's the halacha. Rosh Hashanah. But then over there, because we're in the middle of davening, so you eat mamish, like I think it is less than a kazayis, right? What do we eat? We eat very little, just to break the fast. But now, for this, Rabbi said we should really go back to the Mishnah, because it's a little difficult, not difficult, but it's better to understand if we go to the Mishnah Daf Tesam Beis. Over there, the Mishnah describes, A person shouldn't sit in front of a barber or eat, and then it says, V'im hischilu ei mafsikin. If you start the haircut, you shouldn't stop. In other words, you shouldn't start mincha. Now, then the Mishnah says, Mafsikin likris krishma. You do stop for krishma, which is doiraisa. And then what does it say? We need to understand. Ve'ei mafsikin l'tfila. You don't stop for tefillah. But we just said it a second ago. It says, Ve'im hischilu. If they started, ei mafsikin. You don't stop. For what don't you stop? You don't stop for tefillah, for Shemona Esrei, for mincha. So then why does the Mishnah need to repeat itself and say, Mafsikin likros krishma? You need to stop for krishma. Ve'mafsikin l'tefillah. You don't stop for Shemona Esrei, which we just said twice. In other words, that was the second time. 3 people was better than 4 people. Rabbi Yeshua, shtickle mime. It's not a corona cough. This is Daniel. Oh, who's that tzaddik up there in the right corner? Yeah, who's that? Shalom Aleichem. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I see that you're saying something. I can't hear you, but it's beautiful. Wow, it's a younger man. It's a Gishmaki guy with a white beard. Oh, I don't think I've ever met him. Yeah, you could write maybe what it is. What it is. Fine. Oh, look who's here. Seltzer's online. I like that guy in the right corner. I like him.
You need a tablet.
We need a much bigger screen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'akol niyeh b'dvaroi. Rabbi Say, people were yelling at me yesterday in the emails. They were saying, why are you so depressed? So what if you're sitting in front of 9 people, but at the end of the day, you're sitting in front of 1,000 people? We had 1,000 views in the last few shiurim. We had the shir with Avi Kamiansky and Noam that is bald, 2,500 views. Obviously, they're not looking for me. They saw Noam, the bald Noam. They said, we got to see what's going on here. So, anyway, where are we holding? I don't know. Oh, I'm mafsikin. You're not allowed to make a hefsik. What's going on? We already said it once before. Says the Gemara, an amazing thing. If you're learning Torah, you don't stop. So you're going to ask, so why do I stop in middle? Sometimes you have to say a milsa de b'dichusa chap to'ilam in, and then we go weiter. If you're learning Torah, the chaverim would learn Torah mafsikin l'kriyashma ve'ei mafsikin l'tfila. Don't take this as a heter, not to daven ma'ariv, I'm middle of learning. This is Reb Shimon bar Yochai, who is Teirasanum Nasan. They never stop for a second. Now, you would think that it means people that don't have jobs, they learn, they don't have to stop. It means people that are not mevatel at all. If you have 5 minutes a day that you're not learning, you're on YouTube, whatever you're doing, use those 5 minutes for tefillah. You have no right to say, but Reb Shimon bar Yochai, obviously, he wasn't mevatel a second of his life, didn't work, so he's not mafsik for tefillah, but he is mafsik, Rabbi say, for kriyashma. Us, if Rabbi Yochanan says Kegoin Anu, so there's nobody in our generation like that. He was mafsik for tefillah and kriyashma. Kitone ahi. So if the Gemara Vatanya Kishem Shem mafsikin l'tefillah, kachem mafsikin l'kriyashma. Wait a minute. It says that just like you're not mafsik for Shemona Esrei, you're not mafsik for kriyashma. We just read that even Teirasa Yumnasoi, even Reb Shimon bar Yochai stopped for kriyashma, and then the Bryce over here says you don't stop for kriyashma. Which one is it? Kitone ahi bibur shana. We need to get a screen immediately. We'll hook it up right over there, and we'll be able to see. There's all sorts of characters now on Zoom, so it's interesting. Fine. We'll be able to see, people could pick their nose, they can make funny faces. You could cancel them, I guess. I don't know. But if it'll be up there, so it'll be a shear of 85 people in here, plus 500 people, Be'ezer Hashem, on Zoom. It'll be unbelievable. Says the Gemara like this: when don't I stop for kriyashma? When Chachamim get together and try to decide, are we going to add another month to the year? That you don't stop for. That's very important. That's for Yontif. Some want to say that it's the concept of Oisik b'mitzvah, Potter min mitzvah. Some want to say that it's important. Check out if this is not in the way. I have a feeling this is in the way of YouTube. So let's move it over slightly. Fine. I see Bibi. I see Hillel with Bibi. I'm not sure why. That's his background. But I like Seltzer. Seltzer is much better. Seltzer has the MD, the what is it called? What do we call there? The Daf Yomi, America's Daf Yomi, right? MDY. Fine. So why is Torah not a Isaac b'mitzvah patam in a mitzvah? The Rishonim discuss it. The Rishonim say Torah, of course, is the greatest mitzvah. But Talmud Torah keneget kulam. There's no greater mitzvah than learning Torah. But Torah, you learn it to learn how to do mitzvahs. So occasionally you have to break Torah to do a mitzvah. Zok the Gemara. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to learn a whole Masechtas Brachas about Kriya Shema and then you're not even going to do Kriya Shema. Zok the Gemara. Ki ho ki tani ay bi b'shana omer v'ader b'arava v'chen toni savid dehagroini omer b'laz b'at tzadik sheni ois can be b'shana b'yavna. When we're doing Ibur Shana, adding another month, lo yidu mafsikin lo li Kriya Shema v'lo li tefillah. The certain times, Hillel, you got to behave. You're distracting me. No, I like it a lot. The Zoom is amazing. I'm not going to look at the screen, but Hillel's acting like a shtickle, like a kid that was holed up in a house for 2 days. Says the Mishnah, Lo yetziach chayot b'machtoi somach l'chasheicha. The guy that does our videos, Ruvain Chait, this is how he spells his name. Ches, Yud, Yud, Tes. I don't know why. It should be Tzaddik, but that's how he spells it. Lo yetziach chayot b'machtoi somach l'chasheicha. Tailor should not take his needle, put it inside over here, right over here, and go out on Shabbos. Before Shabbos, a half hour before Shabbos. Samach l'chasheicha. Shema, yishkach v'yetzeh. This is a gzeira, it's a safeguard. Perhaps he'll forget it in his clothing, and he'll walk out from Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Hashanah. Or he'll walk 4 hours to Rosh Hashanah. And not a writer with his pen. And a person should not, in those days, unfortunately, it was a thing, you had to get rid of your lice. I just read somebody was saying about we just had it in the war. People had lice. That's what they spent their time, taking out lice. So we'll see the Gemara whether this is connected. When you read to the light of the candle, you have a wick and you have oil on the bottom of the candle. So when it gets to the bottom, all of a sudden you don't have oil next to the wick. So you have to tilt your vessel, tilt the oil to the corner so that the wick grabs some of the oil. That's asur. But you might forget because you're so used to doing it during the weekday that if you're so close to the candle, you might do it. Be'emes amru. And they said in truth, Hachazon, the Bakayra. A Bakayra, a schlepper, he doesn't know what week is it. No sound on YouTube, Gary. Something happened to the screen here. I don't know what. Okay. We have to go back to the phone for YouTube. What? And people are going to say, maybe. What's this phone doing?
It's videoing you. It's showing someone else's screen. Oh, it's showing your screen, I think, Gary. Would that be?
It's showing your screen. Okay, you hear me? Okay, he's saying that he hears. He's saying he hears on YouTube. Fine, let's go weiter. A person should not. Do we have sound on YouTube? Okay, great. A person should not stand in one rishus, lean over with a kli, with a cup, and drink in another rishus. Why? Because he might bring the cup into the rishus he's standing in. Rishus harabim v'yishta b'rishus hayachid. You can't do the reverse. You can't stand in rishus harabim and drink in rishus hayachid. We're talking about a cup, because he might transfer it from one domain to the other. But if he puts most of his body into the other rishus, mutter, then it's okay. Listen to this. We turn the page and it says two funny words. V'chein begas. The same halacha applies to a wine press. What is going on? We need to understand, Levi, outside over there. Iboilu, Carmelis. Nobody took a picture, so I have to take a picture. I'm sorry, I have to stop for a second. This is for Torah purposes. Hold on. 10 minutes for Daf Beis is more than enough. Let me go over here. Oh, it went on the Yetzer Sahara. Okay. Fine. Shkoyach. We'll post it later. It's a Kiddush Hashem. Iboilu. So Gemara is going to explain what this wine press has to do with anything. Iboilu. Carmelis Mai, we discussed the domain called Carmelis. Carmelis is midrabanan. Anything that's not a Rishus Harabim, a smaller street, or like the Brisa describes, it's a sea, it's a valley, it's a street that's not 16 amas. It's midrabanan, you're not libim tatal. What's the halacha? Could I stand in a Carmelis and lean over to Rishus Hayachid and drink my drink? Omar Abaye, what's the difference? I might come to bring my drink, my cup back into the Rishus Hayachid. Rava Omar, gufa gzeira. We're talking about one gzeira that he might come to bring the cup in. And a Carmelis is a gzeira. A Carmelis is midrabanan. So it's one safeguard to another safeguard. In order that there should be a safeguard to a safeguard, we don't save. And aneko and v'nigzar gzeira l'gzeira. I don't do that. Now what does Abaya hold? So Tosfos talks about Abaya. Abaya also holds the concept of we don't do gzeira to gzeira. There's no reason to make a safeguard to a safeguard. It says Tosfos that haitzah is different. Carrying, transferring domain to domain, people do it all the time. It's something that's very shchiach, and therefore there is a gzeira in that one case. Omer Abaya, Mina Aminallah, and I'll prove it to you. Diktani v'chein begas. The first words on today's Amud, on Yud Aleph on Beis. V'chein begas. What is a gas? My gas. If a wine press is considered a private domain, Tanina, it says mufurish. You can't drink in a Rishus HaYachid while you're standing in Rishus HaRabim. Rishus HaRabim, if you consider Rishus HaRabim, Tanina. Elav Carmelis. I must say it's talking about a Carmelis. Rav Omar, no. V'chein begas le'inyan meiser. Somebody sent this to me yesterday. I have a lot of Akar Satoiv. We're getting permission. But meanwhile, this is from Pirush Chai. Nice little sketches. Here's a guy leaning over from the Rishus HaRabim into his gas. A gas is a wine press. This is where you press the wine. It goes like this. As long as the wine is in here, so I didn't finish making my wine. It's still in the press. It's no Gemar Melacha. No Gemar Melacha, I don't have to give Meiser from it. Now once I remove it from here, I bottle it, I take it out, now I'm starting to make a Gemar Melacha. Now depending what I do. Says Rava, V'chein gas means, I'm talking about a wine press, B'negeya, the Hilchos Meiser. I have to take a meiser from my wine, like any fruit, like any food. I have to take a meiser. I don't have to take a meiser when I'm drinking like this individual who's leaning over. We were discussing a person leaning over from Rishus Harabim to Rishus Yachan on Shabbos. This cup is the issue. He might remove the cup and bring it back from Rishus Yachan to Rishus Harabim. No. V'chein begas, a different halacha. Talking in the weekday. If I lean over from Rishus Harabim to Rishus Yachan and I drink, what kind of drinking am I performing here? A arai drink. It's not a real drink. It's not like I sat down with a cup of wine. I'm doing, how do you say arai in English? Temporary drink. It's not such. That's not what? By the way. I don't like that word. Stay outside over there. But kids are an arai drink. Casual. Okay, casual. Good. That's a good word. I like that. V'chein begas linya ma'isa. V'chein omer Rav Sheshes v'chein begas linya ma'isa. The snan. Let's see it inside. It says in the Mishnah. Shoysin ala gas. I could drink wine from the wine press. Bein al cham and bein al atzoyin upatur divrei meir. As we know, in those days, they would dilute the wine with water. Miziga. You couldn't drink it. It was too strong without it. So, Remeir holds that once I remove the wine, if I take wine out of my press, I'm not pouring it back into the press. So what did I just do? I finished it. It's finished. So Memela, what? No. There is water here. I added hot water. I added cold water. I'm potter. It's still, sorry, according to Meir, I'm potter from Meiser because it's still arai. Rebbe Lezer, Rebbe Tzadok Mechayev, once I pour water into it, it doesn't matter if it's hot or cold, I finished off my wine. Once I finish off the wine, Shmuel, what's the halacha? I have to make, I'm chayev and meiser. It's finished. It's a finished product. V'chachamim oimrim, al hachamim chayav, al hatzoinen potter. Chachamim say, wait a minute, there's a difference between hot and cold. Why? Because hot water, once I pour it in, I can't put the rest of the wine back into my press. It'll ruin everything else. It spoils. It's gonna ferment. It's gonna become vinegar. But cold, I didn't finish it off yet. I could still pour it back in. Therefore, it's still a casual drinking. And on cold wine, cold meziga, cold dilution is potter from meiser. He returns whatever's left over. Now the Gemara asks a question from our Mishnah. It says in our Mishnah that a tailor cannot go out with a pin, with a needle stuck in his clothing before Shabbos. Why? Now, putting a pin into the clothing like this is only Isser D'Rabbanan, to walk out with it, because it's not a normal thing for people to walk with a pin in their clothing. How do people walk with a pin? In their hand. Says the Gemara, this happens to be a Gzeira L'Gzeira. What's the Gzeira L'Gzeira? You might forget, so don't put it in your clothing. And if you forget, what are you going to do? You're going to walk out. And if you walk out, what happens? You're going to only be over the Rabbanan because it's in my clothing. That's called a Gzeira L'Gzeira. One forgetting to the walking of a Rabbanan. Says the Gemara, my love, aren't we talking about a Rabbanan halacha because it's in his clothing? The Gemara does this a lot. Don't force me into a corner here because I could get out of it and I'll tell you, no, it's not talking about that he put the pin in his clothing. Maybe he's holding it in his hand and that's a Deiraisa. So therefore there's only one Gzeira. Don't hold it in your hand before Shabbos because you might forget. Tashma, let's see another angle. Over here it says specifically that it's the Rabbanan because it's stuck in his clothing. My love, Erev Shabbos. Aren't we talking about a case of Erev Shabbos? And therefore there's another Gzeira, don't do so before Erev Shabbos. Loi. Don't pin me to the wall. No pun intended. Don't try to corner me. I can get out of it. No. It's referring to on Shabbos, don't do it the Rabbanan, don't put it in your clothing because you might walk out with it, that's one Gzeira. But now from this you can't get out of. But Tanya, it says in the Brayso, a tailor should not go out with a pin, hatchuva bebigdoi, Number one, it's the Rabbanon because it's in his clothing. Be'erev Shabbos. Number two, it's before Shabbos. It's Gzeira l'Gzeira im Chashecha. Says the Gemara, Mani Rabbi Yehudi Domar Uman Derechum Nasei Chayav. Says the Gemara, it goes according to Rabbi Yehuda, who holds that if that's your trade, that's your profession, then for you it's Asr. Rabbi Yehuda only Rabbi Yehuda holds that a tailor would not allow to be able to go out with a needle stuck in his clothing. For him, it's Issa Deraisa. Nothing changed since those days. Today also, you see the carpenters with their pencil in their ear. In those days, they also had like a piece of wood stuck in their ear, easy to get to. They could measure, they could do stuff with it. All these professions that are making clothing, they put different things in their ears in different places. A painter, who put like his samples of paint colors right here. And a money changer would have one coin in his ear, a magic trick. Advertising. Hey, he was walking the street. How did people know he's a money changer? He had a coin in his ear. And if he went out with it, potter avalasur, it's a derabanan. In other words, all these things are derabanan. That's not the derech to go out. The Meir, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Uman derechum nasei chayav ushar kol adam potter. Now, so this is Rabbi Yehuda who says that everybody else is potter besides the person with that trade. So now the Gemara asks a question, a contradiction from two brises. We still have a couple of minutes because we started a couple of minutes late. Tani Chada. And because of Corona, we have different halachas and different gdarim, not so many people coming to daven. Tani Chada. Lo yetze hazav b'kisar. So we discussed the zav that has not a seminal emission. It's similar, but it's different. He's sick and he has an emission. Now, in order for him to see whether he's a major zav, not a major zav, 2 re'iyos, 3 re'iyos, 3 sightings, he has to walk around with a pouch. Let's call it a diaper, a non-absorbent diaper, to catch it, to see, because it's like white. You have to be able to see it. I have to know, is this guy a major zav or not? V'miyatza potter avalos. On Shabbos, he should not walk out with his diaper, and if he does, it's usher, but he doesn't have to bring a chatos. It's only midrabanan. V'tanya idach, of course it's not a beged. We'll see in a second why. V'tanya idach, but there's another brayz that says lo yetzev im yotza chayiv chatos. We have a contradiction. Either he's chayiv chatos or it's only midrabanan. Which one is it? Amar Rav Yosef leikashya ha Reb Meir ha Rabbi Yehuda. Since this is not the way that other people walk out with it, so Reb Meir says he's potter completely. Rabbi Yehuda says he's chayav. Now, Abaye learned from Meir differently. Abaye learned from Meir, wait a minute. This tailor never puts a needle in his clothing. That's not how he does it. He's weird when he puts this thing in his clothing. So Memela, but all Zavim, they wear this diaper. They have to wear the diaper. So for him it's normal. It's normal for a person, any person in the world, to wear this pouch, this kiss. And I'll prove it to you, says Abaye, if you have a layman that doesn't know how to be a carpenter, and he starts drilling out a piece of wood, where a professional usually drills out a size that's 3 kav, and he only did 1. In all other melachas, forget about Itzah. In all, you have to turn on the video. Are you saying on that side? Turn on video or something? In all other melachas, he should be chayav just because a professional does it one way and does it more and he's better at it, doesn't mean that you're allowed to do it in a lesser way, that you're allowed to drill out a hole on Shabbos. Once he has 3 sightings, so what's the point of him having a pouch? It doesn't help him anymore. He already has 3, so therefore, he doesn't need it anymore, so he's potter. But if you need it to see what it is, then you're chayav. Ma'ishne zav bal shtei riyos the chayav. 2 riyos you're chayiv. The mebayla libdika. You need it to see whether you had 2 riyos or 3 riyos, if you're a major zav or not a major zav. Zav al shalosh, na mebayla sfira. Because if you break, I need to see a regular zav that has 3 riyos and he's a major zav, he has to wait 7 clean days. So on day number 3, let's say, if he has another sighting, he has to restart everything. So he does need it. On Shabbos, he needs to see, is he having another sighting? Says the Gemara, the 3rd sighting was that day itself. Therefore, that day itself, you're on YouTube. That day itself, he has no need for it. Because even if he sees a 4th riyah, he's still on his 3rd riyah day. It's not going to work, not going to make it worse. Wait a minute. But he wants to keep his clothes clean. He's using it as a diaper also. Says the Gemara, we'll finish right over here. For cleaning purposes, to keep your clothes clean is not considered a tzorech, and therefore, if I wear it, I am chayav achatos. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be up and running better with the Zoom. Yeah, we'll see.